Hello again and welcome to the video. So today we've got another Marklin set to have a look at. It's number 46753. It's quite an attractive set. It's advertising this company here. I'll see if my assistant can find out anything about this company.
Storck Karamellen is a German confectionery company founded by August Storck in Werther, Germany in 1903. Storck was originally a small candy maker who created hard candies and caramels by hand in his own kitchen. His candies quickly gained popularity, and by 1905, he had established his own candy factory. In 1920, Storck introduced the popular candy brand Werther's Original, named after the small village of Werther where Storck's original factory was located. The candy quickly became a household name in Germany and around the world, thanks to its distinctive caramel flavor and the nostalgic appeal of its old-fashioned packaging. Over the years, Storck has continued to expand its product line, introducing other popular candy brands such as Toffifee, Messi, and Reason. Today, Storck Karamellen is one of the largest confectionery companies in the world, with operations in over 100 countries and more than 5,000 employees. Despite its growth, Storck remains committed to its roots as a family-owned business. The company is still run by the Storck family and continues to be headquartered in Werther.
So what we've got here is a couple of tank wagons and a truck with a trailer, and this set is presented in the normal Marklin packaging. It has a cardboard sleeve with a polystyrene tray. This one I did get second hand, but it's looking in very good condition. There's a couple of slight blemishes on the box, and as normal with Marklin, this logo up here means that it's designed for the 3-rail system that Marklin has. These wagons will not work on Hornby or Pico. It'll short it out, you'd have to change the wheels. Anyway, let's have a look and see what we've got inside this box. The sleeve lifts off very easily, and we have the polystyrene tray. This one's got a lid on it, so I'm going to lift that off now. And here you have the set. This one, the two wagons you can see are from, well, they're obviously Marklin, but the truck comes from Viking and it comes in its own little box. This one has got some packaging around the truck. I did get this set second hand, so I'm not sure whether that's from the factory, but we'll start off with one of the tankers. This is a very common Marklin tanker wagon. This one has been moulded in this off-white creamy colour, which is very attractive, and it has this brown brakeman's cab. Marklin's very good at their printing, and this is no exception because it's got some really great detail here. Along the chassis it's got various things printed, some of which you can't actually see with the naked eye, and you can see on these plates Hamburg and some other details, VTG, and over here Deutscher Reichsbahn and the number 586442. So there's a lot of detail printed on this wagon, and that's really great to see. And the wagon has this little tap here on the side, as well as these steps going up to the top. It's got a great representation of railings on the top of this tanker. This is a model I reviewed very recently. It was a butter set, and I'll put a link below. So there's nothing really different here apart from the colour. I noticed that obviously the colour of the tank is more creamy. It doesn't have such a silvery roof on the brakeman's cab, but aside from that it's pretty much identical model. So underneath it's got the usual cantilever couplings, which are nice, and it has a representation of brake gear, but it's really not that great. It's just moulded into a single piece, and I think this piece here has been used on a number of different models from Marklin, and it works quite well here, and this model has got some quite nice details on it. Let's have a look at the other one. So unsurprisingly, this is very similar to the first one. The only difference really is it doesn't have the brakeman's cab here, it just has the brake handle and this platform. I did notice as well that they both have the same number here, 586442, and I think that's a bit sloppy of Marklin to do that. This is a set where these two wagons will be run together, so they wouldn't have the same number. You know, I think it's just a bit sloppy. They could have done something differently with one of these, but you can see that there's no real difference between these two. So let's have a look at the truck. So straight out the packaging, this one has come apart here. I think it just needs a little bit of glue to stick it back together, but it's quite disappointing that that's actually happened. It seemed to be quite well wrapped up as well, so it's maybe not been that securely glued from the factory. But what we have here is a pretty basic model. I think it's maybe an Opel truck. It's got glazing with an indication of some windscreen wipers, and it also has an interior which has got a steering wheel and some seats. The box at the back is fairly basic on the sides, but this might be prototypical, and at the back it's it's got some doors, and these doors open up to reveal the interior, but there's nothing of note inside. It's just a bare moulding, so there's no real reason why these doors should open. It's just maybe a bit of a gimmick. Underneath, the chassis looks quite good. There's some nice detail here with the drive shaft and the exhaust pipe. It has metal axles here and the wheels run freely, and it's very delicate on the chassis here, so this is quite a nice moulding underneath. It's got the spare wheel and a representation of the engine at the front. So it's not a bad model, but it's just not that detailed, and I've seen Marklin do truck models which are a lot better than this. Let's have a look at the trailer. So this trailer is very similar obviously to the truck, as you would expect. The box on the back, it is a different moulding. It's got this cutout part here which the truck version doesn't have, and it also has opening doors at the back. It's got some moulding marks here just below the doors. Underneath, the chassis is looking very good as well. It's very delicate and lots of small parts here. I really like the number plate at the back with the representation of the warning triangles, and this dolly at the front is a very nice part as well. It revolves very freely, and it also has articulation on the hook here as well. There's also very good detail on the tyres on these models. It's got some tread on it as well, and even the wheels have a representation of wheel nuts on them. So overall, this is not too bad at all. I quite like this. I mean, it's a fairly basic model in the truck. I didn't think it had a lot of detail in the cab. It's certainly got a lot of detail underneath, and it's quite nice. So let's see what all of these weigh on the scales. So the first tanker with a brakeman's cab weighs 155 grams. The other tanker, unsurprisingly, is a little bit lighter at 150 grams. Finally, the truck with the trailer is 105 grams. So overall, this set from Marklin I think is quite an attractive set. It's especially so because of the colour that's been chosen for each of these models. The cream colour is very nice and it works very well with the black. I think though this set does have some limitations. The fact that Marklin have decided to give both wagons the same number I think is very sloppy. It could have very easily been printed with a different number on one of the wagons. The truck is okay, it has a lot of detail on the chassis, as has the trailer, but I think it could have done with some more detail around the cab, and I've seen some truck models from Marklin that are much more detailed than this one. I think they could have done that with this model. So altogether, this feels like it's been made on the cheap. Perhaps they should have put a bit more effort into making this set. That said, if you can pick this up cheap, I think you should definitely add it to your collection. It's very attractive. It maybe has its flaws, but it still shines through as a nice little model set. So I'll put each of these models onto the turntable so you can see all the way around. In the meantime, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. You can subscribe to enjoy more videos like that. But that's it for today, so see you later.